first of all my life, I detested alcohol because I saw what it did to
Your
mom.
mom, like, yeah.
I detested it. And so one day in my senior 4 vacation, a friend of mine from school, a guy from school, calls me up. We used to talk all the time on phone at night. And one day he called me up and he convinced me and he said, hey, I'm going out today to a popular discotheque at that time. And I'm like, you heathen, like I'm 50, how do you dare talk to me about such things, you know? And he convinced me and he said, don't worry, I'm going to pick you up. I have my brother's car, I'm going to pick you up, drop you back home in a few hours. I said, okay. It was 11 in the night. I said, fine, because he was my very good friend and I trusted him. And yeah, sure enough, I dressed up. We went to the disco. It was a very interesting experience. That was my first experience.
Going out.
Exactly, going out. I tasted alcohol for the first time. Being a sweet tooth, of course, you know, they were showing me all these things, what we order in bars. Me, I had originally ordered for juice. The lady laughed. She told me, showed me her things, I don't know, whiskeys and what. And eventually I said, I'll settle for this. A very sweet drink. I won't mention the brand. Everybody knows it. You know, I didn't know what intoxication was like. I was just listening to the music. Then, you know, I was seated on a stool. But next thing I knew, my shoulder was moving, then my knee. Then I said, but this bass, I've never had this part in this song, you know. Yeah, and that was it. I had about 12 bottles. And eventually my friend came and got me and said, Che, you're drunk. And I said, I'm not drunk. And eventually he said, no, I'm taking you home. He took me home. I don't remember how I got into my bed. All I know is I woke up the next day. I was on my bed, my clothes on, my shoes on, the bag, I think I had just dropped it like this. I opened my eyes, my head was pounding.
Dad was not at home?
My dad was working in Nairobi.
Oh.
Dad was working in Nairobi.
You were in Uganda with your brother?
Yes. So, you know, my head is pounding. I have a hangover of the decade. But I got my phone. I looked at the time, it was midday. In the midst of my headache and my hangover, that was like, my first hangover was my worst. But for some reason, I picked up my phone and I told my friend, where are we today? And that was the beginning of the end, of what should have been the end, really. Yeah, so that was at 15. And from that day, I remember each and every day I was partying. Each
School?
and every day. That was senior 4 vacation.
Yeah. Oh, that was during vacation?
That was vacation, yes. Senior 5, I went to school, back to school, but it was a very laissez-faire school. I became a prefect, so I could leave school whenever I wanted. We had a lot of Kenyans in this school, and they became my friends because I could speak Swahili with them. And these guys, you know, Kenyans come to Uganda to do advanced level. So you have older guys. So these guys came, they had sijui mira, they had alcohol, they had what, all these things. And I was prefect. So, you know, they loved me so much. Yeah. Plus also the fact that we advocated to have reggae in the dance, those guys loved me so much. And so, you know, I had access to alcohol. I would drink at school. I would get a pass out from school to go drink, you know, at home. And yeah, I got to S6 vacation. Now, S6 vacation was long. It was from December to September. I was partying every day.
Where were you getting the money from?
See, it's not...
It's the friends who were buying for you.
Exactly. It's my friends would buy from me. Of course, even my dad, at this time, he didn't know that I was a seasoned drinker now. So the money he would leave me, I would use it for drinking. You know, but most times it was my friends who would buy me the alcohol. Oh, the alcohol is there. It's a house party. The alcohol is there. You know, and because you're in a circle, you're now friends with the guys, they take care of you, you know, and so you just enjoyed that. I just enjoyed the experience, the feeling I had of being around, of just being drunk, you know, and not having to think about so many things. And by the time I got to university, Quinta, I was in first year, I was drinking with third years and masters and PhD students. It was interesting, but eventually it now moved from alcoholism to alcohol abuse, where now I was unable to keep up with my school duties. I would miss out on class. First year, first sem was okay. First year, second sem is where everything now went downhill. I actually ate my tuition money. It was a very expensive university. You know one thing about tuition money, Quinta? You will find money for everything. Money to drink will appear. Money to start a business will appear. You just remove even 100 bob from tuition money. You will look for that 100 bob, you won't find it. There's just something about tuition money. You can't find the money to pay it, but that money is cursed. I said I'll find them. You will find money for everything, any debt you have. But for some reason, tuition money, when oh my gosh. And same thing happened. I chewed the money, and not even that I did anything sensible with it. I literally drank it. Literally drank it in the bar. with my friends. I was missing class. You know, I would just drink, sleep, hangover. I would wake up at 2 p.m. I'm like, the entire day has gone. Okay, time to drink again, you know, go to the bar. And that's, you know, it was just a vicious cycle. And, you know, eventually at the end of the semester, I didn't qualify for my exams. And that's when I came to myself and I said, what am I going to tell Dad? And so I came up with a lie and I told him, Dad, I don't like the course that I'm doing here. Is it possible for us to consider another university? He said, okay, you come home and we see what we can do. And we went home, we talked about it, changed my university. I applied, I got in. Now this one was a Christian university, yeah. Very strict and all this. But an alcoholic will always get their fix. And by this time, I was now drinking and smoking. I had now learned how to smoke, like as a perpetual smoker. And I remember this university, you were required to stay in hostels, first years, university hostels. But after one semester, I said I cannot be chained like this. So I found a way to forge a letter from the dean so that they could let me stay on an off-campus hostel. Same thing happened. You know, you can change a physical environment, but if you don't change the mind, same results. And so first year, second sem, same thing happened. I chewed my tuition. And this time I just sat back and said, Che, what are we going to tell Dad? And, you know, being an escapist, I'd always been an escapist all my life. I don't like dealing with, I never liked dealing with issues. And I think that's why I found my comfort in alcohol. I thought that my problems could drown. I didn't know problems can swim. So, you know, I just kept drinking. And I was in uni for 3 years, but I didn't complete the last 2. And Dad kept sending money for tuition.
And you drank all of it?
What else could I do? See, I would just get the tuition, I pay for hostel, I go there and I drink and I just be there. But I wasn't actually attending school. Eventually, of course, you know, time catches up with everyone. Eventually it was found out I wasn't studying.
How? How did Dad find out?
One day I was getting up to leave the house because now it was third year, second sem, you should be working on your thesis or your dissertation. Sure, I didn't look like anyone who was working on a dissertation or thesis. I was out all night, come back at 6 in the morning, sleep till 4 p.m., leave the house from 5, but you know. So one day I was leaving the house and Dad's car was coming in. And then he said, hey, I want to talk to you in the sitting room. So long story short, I sit in the sitting room and they pull, him and his wife pull out a paper.
Oh,
yes, pull out a paper and it was my transcript, like basically my results from first year to third year. And it was just first year, first sem results, proper est, blank, 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 blank for the rest of the semesters. There were no words and they just told me, just go and think about yourself. And in that moment, I was so heartbroken because the look in Dad's eyes, he was the person who had always done everything for us. You know, even when Mom, he did everything. We never lacked anything. There's nothing I ever lacked in my life. If I told Daddy, I want ice cream at midnight to the pier,